when I was talking about the situations just now that we talk about. How many men are going to come home and say, baby, look, I slipped up last night? Huh? No. How many ministers going to stand before the church and say, Lord, y'all, pray for me because I slept with sister so-and-so? It is important and it is imperative that we not allow silence to kill another generation. We need to talk about it. Now, I'm not going to say everybody needs to disclose publicly. And the reason I say that is that my life is not everybody else's life. Every battle is not everybody's to fight. You don't put all the generals on the front line of no war you fight. Sometimes you are more effective behind the scenes. You don't have to tell anybody that you're positive, but I will tell you to get involved. And I'll tell my mother all the time. My mother is still ashamed of the fact that I'm living with AIDS. And that's okay, because my mother is 79 years old, and I understand where she is. Can you imagine having your oldest child living with a disease that you don't know nothing about? You know there's no cure, and you don't know how to help her. That's the feeling of helplessness. Yes. So what I say to you today, this fight belongs to everybody. Absolutely. It belongs to everybody. Because if I'm living with AIDS, you're living with it too. Because we live in a transit and global world. People travel from here to there. I was in D.C. 2 days ago. California, well, yesterday I was in Baton Rouge. Today I'm in where? I'm in California. I'll be back in Baton Rouge tomorrow, and I'm supposed to be in Canada the first of next month. Just imagine if I chose to be a weapon of mass destruction. Imagine the lives I could touch from coast to coast. Yes. And imagine that there are people out there who are not telling it like I am. Right. And they may be sleeping with your daughters, your sons, your nieces, your sisters, and yes, even some of your mothers. Have you seen the increase in HIV in nursing homes? Because they got young men coming in after the first of the month when the old people get the checks. Some of you seem like y'all didn't know that. It's a fact. Go to your websites, go to your computer and check it out. We got to stop leaving grandma and grandpa in these places and not going back to check on them. Right. You see, because loneliness kills. And I'll tell anybody, a lot of people that have died from HIV/AIDS did not die from HIV/AIDS. They died from alienation of affection. Yes. They didn't have it. We're social animals. We need to be hugged. We need to be talked to. We need to be understood. And we need you all to listen to what we're feeling. This is not just about me. In Baton Rouge, I was accused of glamorizing, making AIDS a glorious thing. I was glamorizing AIDS. No, I was tired of those folks getting a check and not talking to me about it. You're supposed to be in my neighborhood taking, you have a job, you're getting testing supplies, but you're not coming in my community doing the testing. Then how are you jacking up these numbers? I'm holding you accountable for what you're not doing. So I got on TV. They did a special called AIDS in Baton Rouge. They called me. I was like, okay, let me get my hair done. They followed me around my house with the camera. And there I was. Life was normal. I had to get my grandkids off to school, clean my house, prepare their meals. My little sewing had to be done. I had a grant I had to write. All this was on TV. And they said, well, you're just making it look like it ain't nothing to it. Well, I had better sense than let them see me throwing up in medicine. I was not going to let them see me deal with their diarrhea. And they didn't know what else was going on with me. I only showed the side that I thought was presentable. Because you see, Some people will say, well, oh Lord, I feel so sorry for you because you were raped. Oh, get over it. So what? I survived the rape. I'm here to talk about it.
Hallelujah.
But I still need your help in funding and advocacy to help to find a cure. I need you to talk about it to make sure no other woman or man walks in my shoes. This is what I need you to do. I don't need pity, because let me tell you, nobody that's living with this disease went to the doctor and said, hey doc, can I get a prescription for that, that thing, the thing called AIDS, can you hook me up? Nobody asked for that prescription. I'm dealing with the same thing. The person that got it through consensual sex, it's no different. The side effects are the same. The rejection is the same. The loneliness is the same. I'm writing a book called Public Smiles and Private Tears. You know why? Because this is what people see during the day. But nobody knows how many times there's nobody answering that phone on the other end when I might just need somebody to pray with. They're afraid to answer the phone because I just might be sick and I might need a ride to the emergency room. There's no difference in where I am and what I'm living with than any other man or woman who's living with this disease. I don't care if you were a commercial sex worker, the situation is the same. I don't care if you were married, the situation is the same. There is no difference in dealing with HIV and AIDS and living with it. But you see, I'm not just living with AIDS. I'm thriving. Yes. I'm growing. I'm educating. I am motivating. I refuse to lay down and die until I have finished the job. And I have completed the journey that God, the course that He plotted for me. I won't give up and I won't back down. I believe that God needed a voice. And there were many ministers infected, but a lot of them weren't talking about it from the pulpit, because see, we're supposed to be righteous and holy, sitting on this pedestal that we ain't got no business standing on, no how, because God said we're supposed to be servants to the people, not their kings. Yes, yes. And if the word means servant, if servant means to serve, then let me serve you with my wisdom, my life experiences. I believe God needed a voice. And I believe that God chose to use mine. Thank you.